We continue our study in exposing heresy. This is a false belief of losing salvation simply by sinning. This false doctrine comes from some scriptures found in Hebrews chapter 10, beginning at verse 26. For if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins, but a certain fearful looking for the judgment and fiery indignation which shall devour the adversaries. He that despiseth Moses' law died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses. Of how much sorer punishment, supposed ye, shall he be thought worthy, who hath trodden under foot the Son of God, and hath counted the blood of the covenant, wherewith he was sanctified, an unholy thing, and hath done despite unto the Spirit of grace? To have a fixed determination to sin or to sin willfully after we become Christians would be to forfeit all hope of heaven under this false doctrine. To fall so low as that would put a Christian beyond hope. There is no such thing as getting salvation back again if you fall from grace. Some teach that you may lose your salvation today and get it back again tomorrow, but the passage we are studying declares that if we fall back to willful sin, into a determination to commit sin, that there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins, but a certain fearful looking for of judgment and fiery indignation. The absurdity of the doctrine of falling from grace is here seen. Once you lose salvation, you can never get it back. But no Christian will draw back to perdition, as we see in verses 38 and 39. These hypothetical cases are given to show the consequences of certain heretical doctrines. Some denied the resurrection of Christ, 1 Corinthians 15 and 14. If Christ be not raised, our faith is in vain. Some teach that we can turn back to willful sin and fall away from grace. And Paul answers, if you do, there will be no such thing as ever getting it back again, since that would force Christ to come back to the world and be crucified again. He no more endorsed the doctrine of falling from grace in Hebrews 6, 4 through 9, and Hebrews 10, 26 to 29, than he did the idea that Christ had not been raised from the dead in 1 Corinthians 15, 14. Yet he used both supposed cases to show the absurdity of such doctrines. So if someone asks, do Christians draw back to perdition, considering perdition as damnation, you can respond by pointing to Hebrews 10, 38 and 39. Now the just shall live by faith. But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. But we are not of them who draw back into perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul. What does it prove when a man seems to have drawn back to perdition? 1 John 2 and 19. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. But they went out, that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. Does the soul that is born of God commit sin? Some questions on that, but you can always answer with 1 John 3, 9. Whosoever is born of God doth not commit sin, for his seed remaineth in him, and he cannot sin, because he is born of God. Oh, then why is this all going on? Does the flesh, that is, the unregenerated part of a Christian, sin? 1 John 1 and 8, if we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. So our souls don't sin, but our body can. We are a triune creature. Do all things work together for good to the Christian? This should answer a lot of it. Romans 8:28, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. Because after all, if all things work together for good to a Christian, would it be good for his soul to go to hell when he dies? I would say no.